Okay.
Pradeep, I have one doubt.
Yeah, please tell me.
So this is not regarding the XP session, but the general one with TestNG. So I created few classes and I wanted to, a few classes in a suit. So I have placed them in an order and I wanted to run the test case in order also. I gave preserve order equal to true, but still it is running in a random order. Is there any, am I doing anything wrong or is there some other keyword available?
Okay, let me just see. Let me simulate your requirement. For example, where is this one, this one, this one, this one? Let me take the example of feature one. Okay. I'm not taking the example of a real test case. I'm just taking the example because you are asking about the priority. Okay.
Yes,
You are
yes.
asking about the priority. So I will just give you the example that what happens in case of priority, and then I will show you.
Not exactly priority. The preserved order will only work if we have given priority or if we give preserve order in the .xml file. Like we'll be creating testng.xml file for creating suit, right? So there
Okay.
we'll be giving a preserve order or only based on priority it will run.
Okay. What happens that actually by default it actually follows the alphabetical order. Okay. So I can give the example. Let me take the example. I'm creating a class here, separate class just for explaining this particular concept. My test cases. Okay. So let me. What happens that suppose I have few test cases. For example, I'm creating a test case public void, and I'm just giving the name. Intensely, I'm giving the name with this starting from A. Okay, A test case. Is it okay?
Yes, yeah.
So this is you can say my first test case, and to run it, I'm just mentioning the @ test. Okay, so this is my first test case, and you will see I'm just adding another test case, second one, and then I'm adding third one. So I'm just intentionally I'm giving with B and then I'm giving with C. The reason is that because I want to show you that what happens by default if I'm giving the test cases. If I'm giving the test cases, it doesn't matter I'm giving in the same order. मैंने क्या किया? I pick this test case and put it in the between. So first of all, I have written the test case A, which is starting from A alphabet, then C and then B. So you will see, I'm going to run it. Just see what will be the order of execution. What is happening? Okay, I think it is not refreshed properly. Let me run it again. Okay. So, what is the order of test cases? Which test case run first? A, then B, and then C. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually, it is a by defaulter behavior of the test engine that when you have included so many test cases in your class, it actually follows the alphabetical order on the basis of the name of the test case. So by default, you have given A, C, and B, but it will pick starting from A, then starting from B, and then starting from C. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what happens that if you want to break the order, you want to according to maybe the thing is that in your scenario, your test case should be run, A should be run first, then C should be run, and then B should run. So you are actually trying to break the alphabetical order. So in that case, you have to use a attribute that is called priority. So I'm giving it priority. Priority attribute you have to give in the test annotation, priority equal to 1, and then you want to run the test case on the second level. On the second, you can say second level, you have to give priority equal to 2 and then priority equal to 2. So priority things actually override the by default alphabetical order. So when I will run this test case, you will see the order of test case in the result. Let me run it. So now you can see what is the alphabetical order: A, C, and B. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually what happens that whenever you want to, you can say the reason is that when you know that, okay, this test case should run first, then it should go with the second one, then it should go with this one. So you can decide your priority. Otherwise, by default, if you are not using the priority concept, it uses the alphabetical order. Is it okay?
Yes.
So this is the first thing. Second thing is that maybe I've told you about the dependence. Depends on, yes or no? I've told you about the depends on. मैंने आपको depends on के बारे में बताया है?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So depends on, I've already told you that what is the difference between priority and depends on. When you want to run your test case in a priority, but you have to make sure that there is no dependency. This test case is independent from this test case, and this test case is independent from this test case. In that case, you only want to give the priority so that if you want to run the starting 10 test cases on the basis of your priority, you can give the priority. But depends on is totally different. It tells that if you want to run this test case, before that you have to run a test case which is actually depend on this test. So this thing I have already told you previously. Any doubt now, Niveda?
No, Pradeep.
Okay. Now, other than it, anybody have any doubt in that Excel program, data provider, or array? Anybody have any doubt?
No.
No. It means we are good to go. Chali. So today we are going to start the framework part. So two things we will cover in the framework. First of all, I will tell you that what is Maven. That is also a part of framework. Okay. So first of all, let me remove the errors from it so that my project should be error free. Anybody have any doubt from the previous session also, you can ask me. It is not limited to the, you can say TestNG, Selenium, you can ask me anything from the core Java also if you are interested. Okay, so I'm starting the framework part. So in framework part, first of all, I will tell you about the Maven. What is Maven? Anybody have idea what is Maven? I have told you about the Maven or not?
No.
Okay, so I'll tell you what is Maven. Before that, let me tell you, whenever I have tried to create a framework, when I have tried to create a project in front of you, Java project in front of you, I always use a concept file, new, and then I go to the Java project. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then I give a particular name for this Java project and then click on finish and it creates a Java project for me. Okay. Now, today I'm going to give you a different approach to create a Java project. You will go to the file, new. Instead of saying the new Java project, you will go to the other. And in the other section, you will find the option that is called Maven. If you will scroll it, you will get an option here. If you are just taking the session from your laptop, you can make the practice with me that go and search Maven. When you get the Maven option in new, click on Maven project and then click on next. When you click on next, you will get this window. Now click on next. And here you have to pass a string. Okay, you have to pass a string. What is that? I will share to you. So actually what I'm trying to do, instead of creating a normal Java project, I'm trying to create a Java project with the help of Maven thing, with the help of Maven technology. So you are saying I'm creating a Java project with the help of Maven thing. So we call it Maven Java project. So here I'm giving an option filter in the filter Maven archetype quick start. You will see it will try to filter. If filter is not working, I don't know why filter is not working. Why filter is not working? STRT. Okay, now filter is working. Yeah. So when you click on it, you will get an option. Here you have to choose an option which contains org Apache Maven archetype and Maven archetype quick start. In your case, your version can be different. In some Eclipse, your version can be 1.1. What is mandatory thing? These two things should be matched. Your group ID should be org Apache Maven archetype and your artifact ID should be Maven archetype quick start. If both the things matches, select this option and click on next. Now here you will see it is showing you few fields like group ID, artifact ID, version, and package. Okay, so here you will see by default it is giving you option. Okay, com.pra. So especially first of all you have to focus on the artifact ID. What is artifact ID? So actually artifact ID in Maven, artifact ID is called the name of the project. What is the artifact ID? Whatever name you want to give to your Java project, that is called artifact ID in Maven. Means if I want to give my project name something like that, seventh complete automation framework. So I want to give this name to my project. So artifact ID in Maven is equivalent to the, you can say that is same as a project name. You will see when I click on finish, at the left side, you will able to see a project with the name of 17th complete automation framework. Now what happens whenever you create a framework, you have seen in the normal Java project, what happens? By default, it provides you a folder that is called SRC. Yes or no? जब आप normally Java project बनाते हो, then it shows you a folder that is called SRC and bin. In SRC, you create your Java file, you create your own packages. Okay, so here it will create two folder structure for you, and by default it is saying that if you want to create a default package, you can give the name in the group ID. If you want to create any default package, तो आप क्या करते हो? You can give some name in the group ID, and whatever you have given on the artifact ID, on the basis of these two things, it creates a default package for you. So that is not so much important. आपके लिए बहुत important नहीं है. Only the important thing is that name of the project, and that is artifact ID. Getting my point? Anybody have any question? Artifact ID is the name of the project. Group ID is something like that. It is actually taking something, some path, some package name, some path it is taking, and then it combine the group ID and artifact ID to create a default package for you. अगर मैं इसको ऐसे select कर लूँ, तो what happens in your scenario? It will create the project with the 17th complete automation framework, and it will create a default package for you. Let me do it. Just simply see at left side, finish. Are you able to see it created up this project? Yes or no?
Yes.
So here you will see, I will show you the difference. What is the difference between the normal Java project and the Maven project? In normal Java project, you will see this is your 17th complete automation normal project. In this framework, what was the structure? It contains only one folder, SRC. And in your case, it contains two folders, SRC main Java and SRC test Java.
Yes, Java.
So now why it is showing two folder structure and not the folders for single folder. It is showing you the folder structure of SRC main Java and SRC test Java. Actually, what is happening? Maven is you can say technology is used to create a development project as well as for testing project. So with the help of Maven, you can create a development project as well as testing project in the same project. If you are creating a, you can say you are writing a development code, and if you want to write a testing code, you can keep both the codes in your single project. And that's why they have provided a structure SRC main Java and SRC test Java. So Maven suggests that whenever anybody is writing a code of development, they should go under SRC main Java. And if somebody is writing a code for testing the development code, they should go under SRC test Java. And I can give you the example also. By default, it has created a package for you. दिख रहा है आपको? Com pra. This package is created both the places. Yes or no?
Yes.
If you go under this package, अगर मैं इस package के अंदर जाऊं, तो under SRC main Java, you will see a sample file app.java. इसके अंदर क्या लिखा गया है? It is telling you that is application. Public class app means they are giving you a scenario कि यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? Application का code लिखा है. And if you will go under the SRC test Java, under this package, you will see app test Java. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
तो इन्होंने ये दिखाया हुआ है कि when the person want to use the, ऐसा होता है. पहले क्या होता था? Nowadays we are a tester who is writing the code for testing the development code. लेकिन जब white box testing in the previous date, what was happening when the white box testing was you can say included in the you can say project, that testing was taken care by the developer. So what developer do? They write the development code under the SRC main, and for testing that code, they use the SRC test Java. Is it clear? You are okay with that? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Iska matlab, if we are working on the testing automation project, we have to follow which hierarchy? SRC test Java.
Test.java.
It is recommended. It is not mandatory. It is recommended. ऐसा recommended है, ऐसा mandatory नहीं है. हम चाहे तो कोड यहाँ पे भी लिख सकते हैं. We can write the code this one, but it is mandatory that as a structure suggests, we should go under SRC test Java. तो हम क्या करते हैं यहाँ पे, इसको हम यूज ही नहीं करते हैं. So for timing, I can do one thing. हम इस फाइल को चाहो तो डिलीट कर दे. It is a sample file. ठीक है. I am doing another thing. I told you by default it created this package for you. इसने आपके लिए by default क्या किया? ये पैकेज बनाया हुआ. So I can delete this package. अगर आपको नहीं पसंद आ रहा है, so I can delete it. I can create my own package. I have deleted this one, and I have to delete this one. Oh, sorry. Because I want to create some package my own. This part is clear that Maven project is used for both the purpose, for development as well as testing. That is clear?
Yes.
Now, second thing, when you have created the 17th complete automation project and you want to make an automation for the Selenium. So what was the first requirement? You have to include the Selenium jars in your project. Yes or no?
Yes.
So, and how you do it? Anybody can tell me? Harshita, can you tell me that how you can achieve this thing? How you can say set the Selenium jars in your project?
Can extract from the file.
Yeah, so you can say in the regular way, first of all, you have to download it from the internet, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you simply go to the internet and then you say Selenium, SCLEN, Selenium, whatever you want to say, Selenium jar download. Okay, then you got the options. Take the example, Selenium jar 3.15. So I got this option, then I go to here, and then I download these jars in a particular place, right? So when this jar is downloaded, for example, I have downloaded this jars on my local folder, something like that. And we have option Pradeep jars. Suppose take the example, I've downloaded this jars here. Is it okay? Then what we have to do, Arshita? We have to go to the project, right click on it, go to the build path,
and configure build path.
Yes, configure build path, and then we have to go
Add
external
external
jars.
jars.
And every jar we have to include it in my build path. Yes or no? So this was the option. So now I will give you that if you want to achieve this thing in Maven project, how easy it is. Okay. So in Maven, you don't need to do download jar, download and set in build path in this way. In Maven, there is a file that is known as pom.xml. Okay, in Maven project, there is a file that is called Selenium, that is called pom.xml, and this file is actually gave you an option that is called dependency. क्या option देती है आपको? Dependency देती है. और इसका फायदा क्या होता है? If you want to achieve two things, you want to download the jar as well as you want to set it in your build path. So in case of Maven, it is very, very easy. Just go to the internet and simply you have to write Maven Selenium dependency. What do you have to write? Abhishek, what do you have to write?
Maven Selenium dependency.
Okay, so what happens when you write in internet? What happens actually? There is a Maven official website. Maven की एक official website है, and you will get it here. So I have given this thing so that you can get it directly. Otherwise, you can go to the mavenrepository.com and then you can search for the Selenium. I have directly clicked on it. Are you able to see it as open the mavenrepository.com? Yes or no?
Yes.
So here you will see it is showing you all the available versions of Selenium. What you have to do, you don't need to download it. Just click on any version. When you click on any version, you will see a tag here. Are you able to see this tag? By default, Maven is selected and you are able to see this tag. Abhishek, you are getting?
Yes.
So what you have to do, you have to copy this tag from here. You have to copy this tag from here. Only copy this tag. Go to your pom.xml file and under your dependencies, this is a tag dependencies. And under dependencies, you are able to see by default a tag is there. You have to add your tag here. Enter, 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 and add your tag here. Now you will see When I will save it, you will see at the left side. At the left side in your project, are you able to see a library Maven dependencies? आपको Maven dependencies library दिख रही है?
Yes.
इसके how many jars you are able to see under it? How many jars? Only 2 jars. Are you able to see any Selenium jar here? No. So now I will do. I have just pasted this code in my form.xml and now I'm saving the file. Control S. Now tell me at left side, are you able to see lots of? You will see lots of jars are downloaded and automatically set in my project. Getting this thing? Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the main benefit of Maven, and I can show you that what is the other benefits and why this feature is very, very important for us. So you will see, I have written this code. Now take the example. Suppose take the example. When you are doing the same thing in your normal Java project, it's your responsibility to download all the jars. All the jars means all the dependent jars. Now tell me, when you download any jar from the internet manually, it is your responsibility to download all the jars with it dependent jars. Yes or no?
Yes.
And in this case, if you are downloading a wrong jar and some dependent jars are missed, your project will not run. Yes or no?
Yes. Definitely.
Lekin what you are doing it here, or maybe you can do one thing. When you are downloading the jar, for take the example, Harshita downloaded a jar, and when she was trying to set in the build path, maybe accidentally she forget to include few jars. Because reason is that when we are going to add external jar, we are downloading the jar from here. Just see. Let me go here. When I am saying 3.1 jar, few jars contains here, few jars are available here. If she forget to include few jars, it will not run. Yes or no?
Yes.
But in Maven, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to download it manually. You don't need to set in your build path. Automatically, when you provide this dependency contains, this is the Selenium jars and which version you want to include. Automatically, it will download and set in your build path. This is the one benefit. Chaliye, I will talk about the another benefit. Now tell me one thing. In your traditional approach, suppose take the example, somebody says that I want to update my Selenium to 4.0. I want to update my Selenium version to 4.0. क्या करना पड़ेगा? What thing I have to need? First of all, I have to remove the old jars. Yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
First of all, I have to remove all the previous jar, all the previous jars of 3.14. अब देखिए दिक्कत क्या है? When you have downloaded the 3.14 jar of Selenium, it doesn't mean that every jar of Selenium is 3.14. It dependent jars can be of any other version.
Any other versions.
अब दिक्कत क्या है? अगर if I want to remove the Selenium 3.14 jar, I have to remove it manually, and I have to be very, very conscious about it so that I cannot delete any other jar. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
If it contains the jar of Selenium, it contains the jar of POI, it contains few other jars. You have to make sure that manually you have to remove only those jars that are related to Selenium 3.14 and its dependent. थोड़ा tough है, yes or no?
Yes, it's very difficult.
अब देखिए how we can do it in the Maven very easily. Maven में what you want to do? You want
Just
to
delete
remove
that particular.
yes, you want to remove the jar. For example, this jar is by default available in Maven. Whenever you create a Maven project, by default it download the jar of JUnit, and I can show you these two jars. Are you able to see these below two jars?
Yes.
Yes.
Now you don't want to use the JUnit. You don't need to go to manually delete this jar. Just simply delete this tag. Remove this dependency and Control S. You will see jars are gone. Yes or no?
Yes.
You want to delete the Selenium 3.14? You don't need to go it manually. Simply go and delete this tag. Every jar will be gone. Your Maven is blank. Yes or no?
Yes.
So whenever it is deleting, whenever it is adding, it is coming with complete dependency. That's why this feature is known as dependency. देखो Control Z, मुझे फिर से download करनी थी. I need to include the Selenium jars. I simply add that tag. Control S. Jars are back left side. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Now you'll see, in case of normal Java project, I have used the Excel programming. So I attach the Excel code, Excel jar also in the project. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? How we are going to achieve it here? Simply go to Maven website and simply write the jar name only. POI, and that is called XML, or you can write only POI. It will show you all the versions. So here you have to download this one, POI XML. Click on this. All the versions are there. Simply click on any version. So let me check this one, 4.0. I will click on this 4.0. Are you able to see this dependency? Simply copy it.
Yes.
Go to your project, add in the dependency and save it. By default, all the UI, XML, Excel related jars will be downloaded. It is downloaded. Are you able to see this message building 58?
Yes.
What it is
In
doing,
the-
it is downloading the jars, and you can see left side. POI jars are downloaded. Are you able to see with all dependencies? दिख रहा है सबको?
Yeah.
So how easy it is. So this is the best feature of the Maven, that you don't need to download the manually. And what is the another benefit? I will tell you. Chaliye, give me the example. When you are doing it manually and you want to give your project to someone else, take the example. Gaurav developed a normal Java project on his machine. Now he want to share the project to the another person, like he want to share the project to Abhishek. So he will make sure one thing, that he will share not only the project, he will share the jar also. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because what otherwise what will happen? If he will share the project only, then Abhishek has a problem. Abhishek again and again asks to the Gaurav, you have Selenium, use Selenium, but which version you have used? You have used POI, which version you have used? So I will download the same. This is a problem, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
But in case of Maven, you are also not going to share the jar, downloaded jar. You only share this
XML.
So what will happen when Abhishek will copy this project on his own machine? He will go to this dependency and he will simply save it. इस Excel file में थोड़ा सा भी, I'm telling you a trick. What is the trick? इसमें थोड़ा सा कोई change कर दो, कुछ भी थोड़ा सा change कर दो. You can do any change here, something like that. थोड़ा भी कहीं खिसका के and save it. By default, it will download all the jars on Abhishek machine. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yeah.
तो इससे क्या फायदा हुआ? When Gaurav will share the project, he will share the project only, and trust me, the size of project is always very, very small. जो project का size, why the size of the project becomes heavy? Because his jars are very, very heavy. Otherwise, the size of the project always comes under 3 MB, 4 MB, or max you can say 150 MB, maximum very, very heavy project. Are you getting my point? So anybody have any doubt in the dependency part? Yes or no?
No.
Great. So, okay. So now I will show you that whenever you are creating the framework, though this is the first part, you have to create a Maven project. Then you have to decide how many things you have to use in your project. We know that we need Selenium jar, we need Excel jar, and in the future, I'm going to tell you about the extend report. मैं आपको extend report के बारे में बताऊंगा. So you need a extend report jar also. So you will go to the internet, and how you will find? You will write it extend report. Extend report, and we will click on it. You will get the dependency for it. तो आपको यहाँ पे सारी jar, every jar you can get it at one place, that is called Maven repository. So because I have used every jars in my previous project, so I am giving you the dependency from there. You can get it from internet also, because मैंने पहले से किया है, so I am getting it from my previous project. So here it contains Selenium. Oh, Selenium is not here. Why Selenium is not here? Okay, let me do one thing. Let me copy this thing. Copy. Let me paste it here. So basically, in your basic structure of your framework, you need 4 types of jars. I have already shown you. One jar is Selenium. That is okay. You need a Selenium jar. Everybody knows Selenium is very, very important. Then you
Yes.
need testng jar. Yes or no? And then you need PY jar, because I'm saying that, but because maybe in your project you are using the data provider part, you want to run your test case with multiple set of data, so you are going to use the Excel programming. So that's why you have included this one. Other than that, you are including a jar of extend report. And what is the purpose of this jar? So that you can create a beautiful report in the, you can say, in terms of look and feel. So I will show you about that. But ideally, you can say you need these 4 jars. That is okay.
Okay.
So this is the first benefit of the, you can say, Maven, as well as this is the first step of your automation, that you have to set your all the jars in your project. Again, I'm saying that file new Maven project, then you have to give the name of your project with the help of artifact ID, and then you will add all the dependencies on your form.exe. So first thing is clear. Now, second thing, we are going to create the framework. So what do you mean by framework? Framework means we are not writing, actually, we are not going to learn the code writing. We are not going to learn the how to write a code. Here, we are going to learn that how you should manage your code in a proper way, so that if you are working in a team environment, everybody can work easily. You can easily modify your framework. You can easily make changes in your flow. Are you getting my point? क्या पर्पस होता है उसका कि आप अपने फ्रेमवर्क का मतलब होता है अपने कोड को आप ऐसे लिखो ताकि उसमें हर बंदा इजीली काम कर सके. You set some rules and policies. You set some protocols for writing the test case. So in framework, we are going to learn that how you should actually manage your code. That is clear?
Yes.
Chali. Anybody have any doubt? I'm expecting from everybody. Deepak, you are getting. Deepak, Madhur, Rashmi, you are getting.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So actually, when you want to write your code in a systematic way, the best and the first step is creating the packages. सबसे पहले क्या होता है? Your framework contains multiple Java files. Your framework contains your Excel file. Your framework contains your so many test data files. So many things. Your framework contains your Chrome driver exe files. Your framework contains your you can say, in case of report, you want to store the report in a folder. You want to sometimes you want to store some screenshot. So everything you have to manage in a form. You can say framework. So for that purpose, you need different packages and folders. So first of all, we will learn that how many packages you have to create in your framework. So first package I am creating under SRC test Java. New first package is package, and name I will give com.org.base. Okay, you can give any name. Anybody want to anybody, if you have a doubt why I'm giving the name com.org. Com.org is actually the basic structure. Com का मतलब क्या होता है? Anybody know the name of com and org? Com means company, org means organization. So यहाँ पे I have written the com and org. If you are writing a code for your own company, for example, you are writing the code for take the example ICI. So you can create a package something like that, ICI.org. In case of org, you can write something credit department, credit, something like that. And at last, you will give some meaningful name for your what is the requirement of this package. So in my case, my requirement is that I am going to create a base test case file under this package. Getting my point? मैं क्या करूंगा? इस पैकेज का मेरा पर्पस ये है कि इसके अंदर मैं बेस फाइल को बनाऊंगा. Harshita, is it okay? Are you getting my point? What is the purpose of this package? I am going to create the base structure, base test case file under it. And what is the base file? Let me first of all make it finish. So I'm going to one by one, I'm creating the, you can say, package, as well as I'm creating the structure. So new, I'm creating a class. If you remind, I have already created a file at the time of giving you the understanding of testng. There was a file that is called base test. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what is the purpose of base test? Here we created all the basic, you can say, a test case. Basic test case means the helping annotations for the test cases. Like we have created public, static, void, open browser. लिखा था हमने, yes or no?
Yes.
So here we are not going to write any code. I'm just telling you हम क्या करते हैं. I'm not writing a code. I'm just copying from your previous. हमने आपको पढ़ाया तो वही है. So it is my right to copy it from here. So I will copy it from here. Can I copy it from here?
Yes, definitely.
ठीक है. दोबारा कोड लिखने का कोई फायदा तो है नहीं. At least मुझको तो नहीं है. Okay. So I have copied the code here. So in the base package, it means what you are going to write in the base package. In the base package, you are going to create a base test file which contains all the annotations which is required to run your TestNG test cases. That is good. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now we are coming to the second package. Second package is known as com.org.pageObject. Second package is known as pageObject. And third package I'm going to create, that is known as com.org.test. I'm going to tell you the purpose of that. Don't worry. Because in the same way you have to explain in your interview. इसी तरह से आपको अपने interview में explain करना है. I am explaining the project in front of you. com.org.test. Is it okay?
Yes.
Now you will see I have created a base package so that I can create a base file. Now I have created two other packages like page object and test. So now the thing is that why we have created two packages, com.org page object and second is com.org test. Okay. So you will see, you simply know that whenever you are going to create some test cases in the framework part, we are going to take the base framework, base model of the framework that is known as page object model. हम किस फ्रेमवर्क को बेस लेके अपना फ्रेमवर्क बना रहे हैं? पेज ऑब्जेक्ट मॉडल. नाउ क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय पेज ऑब्जेक्ट मॉडल? किसी को आइडिया है? अगर किसी ने एनीबॉडी हैव ट्राइड टू लर्न द सेलेनियम देयर ओन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय पेज ऑब्जेक्ट मॉडल इन सेलेनियम?
No.
Okay. So if you focus on the testing, you can say step part, you have seen I told you that step number 3 and step number 4. What are the step number 3? Identify web elements. And what was the step 4? Perform some actions. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually your page object model says that instead of writing the whole test case in one file, in one function, actually you should divide your code in two parts. The part of identifying the element you should keep in one Java file, and the code to perform some action means actual step of your test case you should write in another Java file. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. Now
Can you repeat once more?
Okay, I'm saying that I will do one thing. We know that in my testing steps, I have to perform two things. Our test case is totally depend on two parts. First of all, identify the element means driver.find element. You are trying to find the element. Then you are performing some action on that. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it is saying that page object model says that actually you should keep these two things in two different Java files. Identifying the element should be keep in separate Java file, and performing some actions you should keep in another Java file. Now the thing is that how you are going to manage this thing in your project, one thing, and why we call it page object model. Okay, so I will show you one thing. Tell me one thing, when I access any application like Amazon, then Amazon ko access kya? Are you able to see what is the URL? Can you tell me what is the URL of this application? क्या URL field में URL क्या दिख रहा है? https www.amazon.in. ठीक है? So everybody know in the starting of the Selenium, I've already told you that this is usually we call it browser, but actually it is known as web browser. हम इसे बोलते हैं, हम नॉर्मल अपनी लैंग्वेज में क्या बोलते हैं, इसे ब्राउजर, लेकिन एक्चुअली इसका टेक्निकल टर्म क्या है? ये जो क्रोम होता है, जो आई होता है, व्हाट इज क्रोम, व्हाट इज आई, फायरफॉक्स, दीज आर कॉल्ड वेब ब्राउजर. And what is the purpose of web browser? To browse web applications. हम जो भी इसमें Amazon की application देख रहे हैं, we are able to see the Amazon application, we are able to see the Flipkart application, we are able to ICI, any application we are able to browse using our browser, that are called web application. Yes or no?
Yes.
और हमारी application, actually you will see if you have heard at the time of discussion with your developers that actually web application is nothing. Web application is a collection of web pages. Yes or no?
Yes.
अब web pages किसको बोलते हैं मैं आपको बताता हूँ. I can prove it. here you are able to see what is the URL of this page, and you are able to see a screen in front of you. आपको एक screen दिख रही है जिसमें लिखा हुआ है Amazon Pay today's deal, नीचे कुछ pictures हैं, you are able to see the images.
Yes.
आप देखना, I am going to click on today's deal. You will see
We'll change the page.
the page will be changed and the URL will be changed. Yes or no?
Yes.
So actually we say it, currently I am on the today's deal page. When I click on coupon, just see, URL is changed.
Yes.
So actually what I want to tell you that your whole application is actually divided into different pages. When you perform any action, actually, when you perform any action, you will see it is changing the pages. तो जो पेज आपको सामने दिख रहा है इसको क्या बोलते हैं? This is called web page. Getting my point?
Yes.
So what page object model says that for every Java, for every web page, you should create a Java file in your page object package, and that file, every page file contain its own elements. Getting my point? कि आप क्या करते हो, हर जितनी भी पेजेस आपके एप्लीकेशन में होते हैं, total number of pages for every pages, like for today's deal page, for buy again, for coupon, for every page you will create a separate Java file, like Amazon coupon.java, Amazon today's deal.java, Amazon wallet.java. Are you getting my point? Yes,
Yes.
or no? Everybody is getting. Rashmi, you are getting?
Pradeep, can you tell once more?
Okay, I'm saying that your whole application is actually divided into different web pages. हम web pages बोलते हैं. How we can say the web pages? Whenever we click on a link, हम किसी भी लिंक या क्लिक करते हैं तो आपने देखा होगा UI चेंज होता है. Your UI is changed as well as URL is changed. तो आप कभी भी whenever you will try to discuss with your developers कि there is some bug, so you always try to say that आपके Amazon Pay वाले पेज पे on this particular functionality we are facing some issue. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what happens in page object model? What page object model says कि हमको क्या करना चाहिए? एक किसी भी पेज पे, for every page, like this is Amazon, you can say this is buy again page. So every element you are able to see on this page, like this search button, this search order button, this you can say order, whatever element you are able to see. For that element, you should write the find element code in a Java file. तो बाय अगेन नाम से एक जावा फाइल बनेगी जिसमें इसके एलिमेंट लिखोगे, टुडेज डील नाम से एक जावा फाइल बनेगी जिसके अंदर उसके एलिमेंट लिखोगे. सो आई एम टेकिंग द एग्जांपल ऑफ माय ओन वेबसाइट सो दैट आई कैन मेक इट लिटिल बिट सिंपल.
Okay.
So I will take the example of my home.html. Okay. So I have already told you this my whole application is actually divided into 4 parts. Yes or no? सबको पता है ना मेरी एप्लीकेशन 4 पार्ट में बनी हुई है. header.java, left menu.java, user registration page user registration page and the footer page. सबको पता है? Yes or no?
Yep. Yep.
So for giving you some understanding about the page object model, you can assume that my application contains 4 pages. आप क्या मान के चलोगे मेरी एप्लीकेशन में क्या है? 4 पेज हैं. One is header dot. Let me show you that code also so that I can show you.
You can just make a borders one.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to make a border so you can find it easily. Now are you able to see?
Yes.
So I'm telling you, just like you are able to see different UI on your Amazon, here you can assume that my application is actually divided into 4 pages. So first page is, you can say I can drag it. First above page, header. Left page, I'm just giving the name. Left menu. Right is user registration page and below one is footer page. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what page object model says that, first of all, you have to create the Java file according to the number of pages in your application. So मैं क्या करूँगा देखो. Under this page object, I'm going to create 4 Java file. One file I will give header page. Is it okay?
Yes.
Second file I will create Left. You guys are awesome. Now you are getting the point. Left menu page. So actually, in the same way, in the Amazon, you will create Amazon coupons page.java, Amazon wallet page.java, Amazon reward page.java, Amazon card page.java. For every page, you have to create a separate Java file. Now this is clear.
Yes.
Now I will case user
Registration.
registration page. And at last, I'm going to create the footer page. And it is not mandatory that you are going to create all the classes in one go. It depends on that you want to write some test cases related to the header page. So in the future, whenever need, you can create any file. It doesn't need that in one go. Now what is happening in Amazon? Maybe Amazon contains 100 pages. Yes or no?
Yes.
एक बार में तो आप 100 pages Java file बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Whenever you are creating a test case related to that page, you can create that Java file. Getting my point? So don't try to make a rule that in the starting of the automation, I have to create the Java file for each and every page. Getting my point? Maybe in the future, what can happen? Maybe one page is added or one page is removed. So this is the process of keep on updating your framework. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
तो इसको कभी रूल मत बनाना. Don't try to create a rule कि हमें सारे पेज एक साथ में बना लेंगे. So you have created this file. अब now the question is that I have created this file under the page object model. So what code I have to write? I already told you in this file we are only going to write the code to find the element. इसके अंदर हम कोड केवल कौन सा लिखेंगे जो एलिमेंट को फाइंड करने का होता है. And that is known as locators. उन्हीं को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Locators. That's why these files are also known as page repository. इन्हीं फाइल को हम क्या बोलते हैं? These files are called as page repository. Means these files contains the element locator. That's why these files are known as page repository. Footer page repository, header page repository, left menu page repository, and user registration page repository. So how we are going to write the code? Just see here. First of all, identify the element. So I will start from user registration page. That is very, very easy. So first of all, identify how many elements are there. So I will write private, private, and I'm giving the name of element. So what is the element? Just to give the name. In my user registration page, I can take the example of first name. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So I will give a private, and what is the type of element? जो element हम 5 करते हैं उसका type क्या होता है? Web element. Okay, and I'm giving the element name, first name. Is it okay? Is it okay? So in this way, first of all, you have to identify all the elements, and I will tell you why I'm taking it private, because this is a standard of a Java that whenever you are creating some, you can say elements in your, you should follow the structure of, you can say date encapsulation. If you want to achieve it without the encapsulation, you can make it public. Getting my point? लेकिन एक standard है कि हमें इसको क्या लेना चाहिए? We should take it private. Getting my point?
Yes.
If you want to get it some detail about it, that why we are taking it private, you can go through a video data encapsulation on my YouTube channel. Okay. If you want to take it public, that is also okay. But the standard says that we should take it private. So how many elements are there? Just try to write it here one by one. This one, So I'm taking the example of few elements. First name,
Last name.
middle name,
Age.
last name. And we are also following the naming convention. What naming convention we should use in the variable name? That is called camel case. Camel case क्या होता है? It should start first letter. First letter in the word should start with the small, then every letter should start with capital. So in the case of age, we are using only one, so we can write age only. Getting my point?
Yes.
So you have to only, first of all, you have to declare this element. You have declared the element. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
अब आपको क्या करना है? Now you have to create. In the data encapsulation, actually data encapsulation says that you should not provide the direct access of your Java class elements to outer world. मतलब आपको अपनी क्लास के जितने भी एलिमेंट हैं उनका डायरेक्ट एक्सेस बाहर किसी को नहीं देना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाई वी आर क्रिएटिंग इट प्राइवेट. So what I'm saying that Encapsulation says that whenever you are creating a Java file, it is the best practice that you should create your elements with the private access specifier so that nobody outside this class can access this field and can assign some value or can read some value. Getting my point?
Yes.
So now the question is that if you have made this file, if you have made this elements like private, how we can set the value in this field and how we can get the values. Okay, in that case we use a concept that is called getter and setter. We use a concept that is called getter and setter. Now the question is, what is getter and setter? Getter and setter, the purpose of the getter and setter is that whenever somebody is interested to access this element, somebody want to access this element, want to read some data, want to read this value, he, instead of directly accessing this field first name, he will call a function and that function will return the value of this element. Getting my point? कुछ ऐसे करते हैं, just see here. अगर किसी को ये वैल्यू चाहिए होगी तो हम एक फंक्शन बनाते हैं and function I will make it public, public, and the return type of this function will be web element and the function name I will get first name. Getting my point?
Yes.
Now in this function what I will do, this is your first name, you can write return first name. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
So it means whenever somebody access, I will show you. Chale, for the example, I'm just creating a test practice file for you. I will remove after that so that I can explain you this thing. अब देखो, मुझे इस फाइल को I want to access this field, so I will create the object of user registration page. बना सकता हूँ ना? देखो बनाता हूँ. User registration page. User registration page. I'm just giving a name equal to new registration page. Is it okay? Any doubt here?
Yes.
Then with the help of this object user registration page dot, I can access the value. But you are able to see, can I access the fields directly? Can I access the field directly?
No.
No. I am not able to access this field directly first name because it is private. But if I want to access it, मुझे इसको read करना है, I can do one thing. Instead of reading it, I can call this function. Yes or no? You can call get first name. Yes or no? And indirectly this function will return, it will return first name element.
First name.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the standard. This is called the getter. So this function is known as the getter for the first name. In the same way, we should create the getters for all the elements.
All elements.
Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
So Eclipse provide you a wizard for that. देखो मैं इसको delete करता हूँ. Eclipse already provide a wizard for you. Just right click on your class, source, generate, getter and setter, and simply select all and select getters. मुझे getter में interested है. We can use the setter also, but in case of web element, you are not going to set something. आप web element में कभी कुछ set तो नहीं करोगे ना? उस field में कुछ set थोड़ा करोगे. उसकी value को क्या करोगे? Always you will try to get it so that you can perform some action. So I am clicking on select getter and generate. Are you able to see it has created functions for you?
Yes.
Now what is your role? आप मुझे बताओ, whenever you will try to fetch the first name, it should return the web element. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो web element को assign कैसे करेंगे? Within this function you will write a code, first name equal to driver dot find element. Then it will try to find the element from the screen. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Everybody is getting this code? सबको पता चल रहा है मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? First name, ये function return तो करेगा first name, लेकिन if I am not assigning anything, so first name will be null. Yes or no? तो हम क्या करेंगे? When somebody is calling this function, before that returning this thing, I will try to set the value of find element. Yes or no?
Find elements.
अगर मैं इसको यहाँ पे
definitely
initialize कर ही दूंगा तभी तो उसकी रिटर्न करेगा वैल्यू, वरना तो क्या रिटर्न करेगा? It was null, it was null.
Null.
तो मैं इसके अंदर वैल्यू को कैसे रिटर्न करता हूँ? ड्राइवर डॉट. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज दैट फ्रॉम वेयर वी गेट द ड्राइवर. ये ड्राइवर वेरिएबल कहाँ मिलेगा? इट इज अवेलेबल इन बेस टेस्ट. यस और नो? तो बेस टेस्ट, फ्रॉम द बेस टेस्ट I want to access this variable. What can I do? Tell me.
Inherit.
Yes, two things are there. One thing is that we can do one thing. We can make extends. EXTEND DS
Extend,
base
yeah,
test.
this.
जैसे ही मैं base test को extend करूंगा, you will see that error will be gone. अब देखो मैं यहाँ पे driver करूंगा dot. आ रहा है yes or no?
Yes.
But now I will tell you in this case, this is you, it will work and you will not see any error, but this is not a good approach. I will tell you what, why. Now tell me, when you are going to extend it, extend means it is taking the concept of inheritance. So everything is which is available in this class, that will be available in user registration page.
Child
Yes
class.
or no?
Yes. Yes.
सारी की सारी चीजें आ जाएंगी यहाँ पे.
Yes, आ जाएगा.
मुझे तो सारी चाहिए ही नहीं. I only need driver. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
मुझे अभी क्या चाहिए, केवल ड्राइवर चाहिए. So I'm saying that you can do it. आप ऐसे कर सकते हो. There is no error and it will work fine. But you can say in terms of a proper structure, in terms of a proper performance, this is not a good approach. You only want those things that is needed. Yes or no?
Okay.
तो आपको क्या करना चाहिए? Don't do this thing. What you will do? There is a special concept that is called static import. That is called static import. जब आप इसमें बेस टेस्ट को इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो उसमें सब कुछ आ रहा है, बट यू हैव ऑप्शन इंपोर्ट एंड देन आई एम राइटिंग अ कोड इंपोर्ट STATIC and after static you will write base test dot. Are you able to see it is only showing you all the things which is static there, driver, close browser and open browser? Yes or no?
Yes.
You are interested only in driver, just select this one. तो ये क्या करेगा? आपने इनहेरिटेंस का यूज नहीं किया, but it will import only the driver variable in this class. ये driver variable को यहाँ पे import करके ले आएगा, बाकी चीज यहाँ पे नहीं लाएगा, because you have not used the concept of inheritance. You have used the concept of static import. Yes, Gaurav, tell me what you want to ask.
So this concept called as a static import.
Yes, and what
So
is the
in
benefit
that
of?
case, yeah. So
Yeah.
in that case only we can import the static properties.
Yes, in that case you can import the static property and you are free to import any particular static property. Here you can say we have all the three properties like
Yes,
properties and
I
functions.
saw.
All things are, the functions are also static and your driver is also static, but I'm interested to import only one. So I'm only importing the desired one. Getting my point?
So suppose that I in place of static, if I write down the public, like public, can you write down import public com.org, then
No,
this
you
one
want to remove this one?
yeah, use the public in
No. Where you want to? We don't use the public in the import.
just that this I want to know, that's why.
No. Just think about that. Public means the thing is that when something
Already
is,
available for everyone.
yep, the public means the thing is that why
Suppose
do
that any function is protected. If I'm taking the example, like protected, we have a something in the base class is a protected. Then if I want to only that particular protected method in that class, so
in case of protected, it is also binded with a concept that is called inheritance. Protected का concept ही है, चाहे आप उससे करो या ना करो, जब तक child नहीं होगा तब तक मिलेगा ही नहीं. Yes or no? Yes. So that's why it is basically designed for the static one only. जब आप import करते हो तो import करते वक्त क्या होता है? By default the concept is, let me show you. When I'm saying import base test, it is importing everything. Yes or no? देख लो. It is importing everything. Then for using this thing, you have to create the object of a base test. Yes or no?
Yes.
Base test को import कर लिया, अब आपको जो भी काम करना है, if you want to use the driver, आप कर सकते हो, but you have to create an object for that because in base test everything is non-static. अगर किसी भी non-static चीज को use करना है, you have to create an object for that. Yes or no? तो यहाँ पे specially design क्यों किया गया है? If in your concept there is something static and you are interested only the few things, you can use this concept base test dot drive. Clear hai?
Okay.
Now
So,
the thing is that
is this approach is good, because I don't think so. Every time we require only two static features in the different class.
now the thing is that why we are using it here, reason is that because we have created the driver static and there is a specific reason behind that. You know that in the whole automation, the browser is only the single. There should be a single instance of the browser. Yes or no? पूरी application में browser एक ही होना
It's
चाहिए.
common to all. Shared by.
Yes, it should be common to all. And I already told you because it is common to all. That's why I've created this variable as a static. आपके जितने भी सारे टेस्ट केस होंगे वो सारे एक ही ब्राउजर पे चलेंगे, तो ब्राउजर का जो इंस्टेंस होना चाहिए, मेमोरी में जो लोड होना चाहिए, दैट शुड बी ओनली वंस। यस और नो?
Agree.
So that's why we make it static. अब ये static था, that's why we have used this functionality here कि static import करें। अगर ये static नहीं होता तो मैं इसको ऐसा करता भी नहीं। Getting my point?
Okay.
तो आई थिंक सर मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट अपनी बनेगी, मेमोरी एफिशिएंट भी होगा अपना प्रोग्राम।
हाँ, मैंने आपको देखो, दिस इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ मेमोरी मैनेजमेंट कि अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपको एक्सटेंड कर देता ना तो हमारा इतना डिस्कशन नहीं होता। मैं एक्सटेंड कर देता, सारी चीजें यहाँ पे आती, ड्राइवर भी आ जाता। लेकिन आप ये बताओ, क्या ये दो फंक्शन मुझे कभी भी इस क्लास के अंदर चाहिए होंगे? बिकॉज माई एक्चुअल टेस्ट केस विल नॉट बी रिटर्न इन दिस फाइल। यहाँ पे हम क्या लिख रहे हैं? केवल एलिमेंट के लोकेटर्स। यस और नो?
यस।
We need these two functions. हमें ये दो फंक्शन चाहिए। We need these two functions. But at the place we are actually writing the test cases. जहाँ पे टेस्ट केस रन चाहिए वहां पे हमें फंक्शन चाहिए, बिकॉज बिफोर रनिंग दोस टेस्ट केसेस दिस फंक्शन शुड बी कॉल्ड। तो यहाँ पे हमें नहीं करना है, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर राइटिंग हियर। ओनली पर्पस इज वी वांट टू अचीव इट। अगर आप ऐसे कर लोगे ना, बहुत जगह पे so many places you will see that people are using the concept of inheritance, but that is not a good approach. Getting my point?
Okay.
है ना? इट इज समथिंग लाइक दैट कि आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाओ, यू हैव बहुत सारा पैसा आपके पास, आप क्या करते हो? भैया एक काम करो, जस्ट टिक द 2 प्लेट्स ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी डिश, सारी डिश की प्लेट मंगा लो और उसके पास कोई दो खाने के बाद सब कुछ बर्बाद कर दो। सो दैट इज नॉट द गुड अप्रोच। अगर आपके पास पता है कि आपको जो चीज चाहिए, यू शुड ऑर्डर ओनली द दोस थिंग्स। यस और नो? अदरवाइज यू आर वेस्टिंग द थिंग्स। तो यहाँ पे मेरे को पता था कि काम उससे भी हो जाएगा। देखो, खाना तो मैं उस समय भी खा लूंगा, उसके बाद जो बचा है उसको फेंक दूंगा, बट वी आर एक्चुअली वेस्टिंग द थिंग्स। यस और नो? तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करें? वट एवर इज नीडेड, आई एम ओनली पिकिंग दोस थिंग्स। तो हमने यहाँ पे कर लिया, माई अचीवमेंट इज कंप्लीटेड, ड्राइवर डॉट फाइंड एलिमेंट, जो भी आप लिखते हो कर लो। ये भी मैं कोड नहीं लिखूंगा क्योंकि दिस कोड आई हैव ऑलरेडी रिटन माय सर एलिमेंट के लिए मैंने कोड लिखा हुआ है।
Yes, registration page.
कहाँ पे? यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन पेज। मैं तो भूल भी जाता हूँ। We can keep it from here. First name, I can write my own also, लेकिन क्यों मेहनत करा जाए, है ना? Now this is your time to do the practice. First name का कोड उठा लिया यहाँ से। This is the code for.
You can copy same thing with just you have to change the L name, M name, and
Yes, you guys are awesome. Now you have started writing the code and you learn the concept of copy and paste, है ना? अभी हमने कोड करना स्टार्ट किया, बहुत जल्दी सीख जाते हैं लोग। पीपल लर्न हाउ टू मेक ए कॉपी पेस्ट, यहीं पे मिस्टेक हो जाता है। चलिए, एंड लास्ट टाइम आई हैव नॉट रिटन, सो आई कैन यूज द कांसेप्ट ऑफ गौरव कि हम यहाँ पे कर लेते हैं और यहाँ पे एल नेम, हियर आई हैव टू राइट एम नेम एंड दिस इज एल। वी आर डन। In case of age, we have to write age equal to we have to write driver dot find element. We can get it from here. I think we have age here.
by age.
So everybody is good. सबको पता लग गया what is the purpose of page object model? How we can create the page object Java file? Yes or no?
Yes.
So now the thing is that why we call it a framework? Because we are going, not we only, I am, everybody in my team who is going to work on this project, he will follow this structure. It means, now take the example, I want to create the left menu page. तो हमको पता है पहले क्या करना है लेफ्ट मेनू पेज में, बिना कुछ सोचे समझे I have to make this import. Static import तो होना ही है। Yes or no?
Yes.
क्योंकि हमें करना ही ये काम है, so we will make it a static import. और उसके बाद क्या करेंगे? Same thing. What elements are related to the left menu page? We are going to create the locators for that. So I'm creating the link for 2 things: Selenium, SoapUI, JMeter, Code Java, manual testing. All the elements are there. So I'm creating the link for only for Selenium. Okay, Selenium and JMeter. In this way, you can write the code for everything. Yes or no?
Yes, we can.
So I have told you the actual concept. मैंने आपको actual concept बता दिया है. I told you the actual concept that this file contains the element. So I will create the element. One element is Selenium link.
Selenium.
And second element is JMeter link. In this way, you can write all the elements. And again, the same thing. It is not mandatory that you are going to specify every element in one go. आपको जब अब देखो क्या होगा. I am writing the test case for left menu page. अभी मैंने थोड़ी देर के लिए I added only 2 elements. In the future, I've needed I go to the same file and add more elements. Good? Yes or no?
Yeah.
तो देखो हमारा ये रूल ही बन गया. इसी को कहते हैं फ्रेमवर्क. राइट क्लिक, सोर्स, generate getter and setter, select all, select getter, generate. देखो अपने ये सारा कोड इसके बाद कोड हमें पता क्या है, विद इन द फंक्शन बिफोर रिटर्निंग दिस एलिमेंट वी हैव टू राइट द कोड ऑफ असाइनिंग Selenium link equal to driver dot find element. अब वो भी हम आसानी से कर लेते हैं, ऐसे ही हम करेंगे. आई एम ट्राइंग टू राइट ए कॉपी पेस्ट बट डोंट यूज इट. आपको अपने हाथ करना चाहिए भी. अब वो कोड लिखा ड्राइवर फाइंड एलिमेंट XPath. अब आपको पता होना चाहिए XPath, मैं पहले भी सिखा चुका हूं. Yeah, we can write the XPath something like that.
Even you can use the anchor directly. You can use the anchor.
Yeah, you can do one thing also. I always prefer that every time you should write the XPath, but you can do one thing. You can use by link text also. You can use link text also, but it's your choice. Okay, let me do the XPath also. I always find it comfortable. I will write Control F //a and text equal to Selenium. Yes or no? अगर आपको याद हो यही करते थे हम. SELENIUM Selenium. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it depends on that. Again, I'm saying that today I'm not telling about the coding. I am telling you how you can manage the code. कैसे देखो, हम कोई भी कोडिंग सब तो हम पढ़ चुके हैं. इस कोडिंग को कहाँ पे कैसे मैनेज करना है. We are going to write this code in the JMeter also. In the JMeter we will write JMeter equal to, and I'm sure here I'm going to write text equal to JMeter. Let me check. So we can write this code. So it means tell you, can you write the code for another pages also? अगर मैं आपसे बोलूं, can you create the header page? Can you create the footer page? तो सबके अंदर देखो रूल आपको पता है क्या रूल क्या है. कोई भी नया बंदा आएगा, what is the protocol saying that before writing the element? अरे भाई ये काम तो पहले कर ही दो, क्या import तो करना ही है. इसी को तो बोलते हैं रूल्स. Yes or no?
Yes.
क्या आपको पता चल गया है कि मेरे हर फाइल में एक रूल तो है, I have to make a static import. Getting my point? Then you can specify the element. Anybody have any question? ये आपका पेजेस ऐसे ही डिजाइन होंगे. Is it okay?
Okay.
चलिए अब आता है पेज ऑब्जेक्ट के बाद. अब हम करते हैं.
So Pradeep, just a question. The applications are very huge. So I think there are thousands of, sometimes I have seen the 500, 400 web pages. So at that time, we are creating the 400 Java files. So
yes, actually the purpose is that you are thinking about that. Actually you are thinking about your current complexity. आप अभी के बारे में सोच रहे हो, अरे प्रदीप मुझे 400 पेज को बनाना पड़ेगा. जस्ट थिंक अबाउट दैट. अगर आपने सारा कोड एक ही जावा फाइल में सारे एलिमेंट लिखे होते, सो इफ योर एप्लीकेशन कंटेन्स 400 पेजेस, इसमें
I understand this is a good way, but my point is there another way by which we can handle these things in easiest manner? Like any other model or any approach?
You can do any other thing, but I will suggest that when somebody is learning the Selenium first time, they should go with this model. Okay, but you can achieve that. What you can achieve that? Actually, you can take the help of properties file. I have not told you about the property file. I will tell you about that. In our framework, I'm going to use the property file. At that time, I will tell you what is the other uses of property file. Okay, so उसमें से one of uses is to store the XPath also. Getting my point?
Okay.
But whenever somebody is starting the career in the Selenium, they should go with this model. Okay?
So nowadays this approach is uses by all the organizations or some other approach?
Still I can say that more than 50% people are using this approach because this is very easy to use, and for this purpose you don't need to go into the complex code of Java. इसमें देखो कोई भी complex code नहीं लिखा मैंने. I have created few fields and I have just created the function. Getting my point?
Yes.
But as you are, you can say as according to the requirement of your project. अगर आपकी project में requirement होती है तो so many things are there. ठीक है, तो एक हमारा ये होता है ना कि जब भी हम कुछ सीखना शुरू करते हैं, we should follow some basic concept for that. Getting my point? तो ये आपका basic है and that is very easy to maintain. इसको maintain करना बहुत आसान होता है. Getting my point? देखो कैसे बताता हूँ.
Like nowadays I heard BDD approach and in demand, so that's a
okay, I will tell you about the BDD also, because in our your complete automation course, when you go with the complete automation course, at last I will take a session. I will take one session on the Cucumber. Cucumber is actually an implementation of the BDD. Getting my point? So in BDD I will tell you what is the advantage of BDD. Actually, what is the advantage of BDD, I will tell you. But in the BDD also same thing is there. BDD का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि आपको ये कोड तो लिखना ही है, इसके अलावा एक कोड और आपको और लिखना है। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Okay.
BDD में आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? BDD में क्या करना होता है? इन BDD दिस कोड विल बी देयर, इतना कोड तो आपको लिखना ही है। इसके अलावा अदर देन इट यू हैव टू राइट वन एक्स्ट्रा कोड इन द मैनुअल टेस्टिंग प्रोसेस दैट इज रिटन विद द हेल्प ऑफ जर्किन। एक लैंग्वेज होती है दैट इज कॉल्ड जर्किन। तो जर्किन के हेल्प से इसके ऊपर आप एक लेयर और बनाते हो, एंड दैट लेयर इज नोन एज BDD, बिहेवियर डेटा ड्रिवन। तो वो फ्रेमवर्क की लेयर की क्यों जरूरत पड़ती है कभी कभी, आई विल टेल यू, ठीक है?
Okay.
लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि इस कोड को हटा के काम कर सकते हैं, ये कोड तो ऑलवेज इट विल बी देयर।
Definitely, we have to figure out the element first. So
You have to figure out the element and you have to write a code in a function. जब तक जावा है बिना फंक्शन के कोड होता ही नहीं है, ठीक है? बट आई विल डू वन थिंग, आई डोंट वांट टू टेल यू राइट नाउ, कि मैं आपको अभी नहीं बताना चाहता कि आपको क्या, बिकॉज आई वांट टू कंटिन्यू द फ्रेमवर्क पार्ट। आपको उस समय बताऊंगा कि कौन सी एक लेयर एक्स्ट्रा ऐड होती है, इसी फ्रेमवर्क में ऐड दिखाऊंगा। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
okay.
चलिए, so this is called page. Now the third package of your framework is com.org test. अब इसमें देखते हैं क्या करते हैं। This is the file where we write the actual test cases. तो इसका स्ट्रक्चर में क्या करते हैं?
I have one more.
Yeah, tell me.
So is it compulsory that we have to use setters, or we can work with getters alone?
No, come again. You are saying that we should go with the getters only, or you are saying that we have to use the setters also?
Yeah.
चलिए, setters का देखो एक्चुअली पर्पस क्या होता है। Actually we create the getter and setters. The purpose of setter when you want to set some value to the element. Yes or no?
Yes.
है ना? I can give you the example of some extra field. मैं काम करता हूँ, not here in the footer page. I will take the example of some general field. चलिए, I will create some another file so that you can understand the benefit of getter and setter. I'm creating a student class, ठीक है? And in the student class I'm creating some properties. For example, I'm creating because in the student class I'm creating a property that is called int student roll number. Is it okay? अब देखो क्या होता है, when somebody is going to use it, तो इसमें वो दोनों काम करना चाहेगा. He want to set some value to the student roll number and sometime he want to read the value from of the student roll number. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो इसमें आपको देखो दोनों की रिक्वायरमेंट है. You need getter and setter both. Let me show you. देख रहे हो आप? तो इसमें देखो getter का काम क्या है? Whenever you are calling this function, it is returning the value. Yes or no?
Yes.
And when you want to set some value, आपको स्टूडेंट रोल नंबर में कुछ वैल्यू सेट करनी है, तो कैसे सेट करोगे? You are calling this function and passing as a parameter. Yes or no?
Yes.
अब आप मुझे अपने केस में बताना, क्या कभी भी अपने ऑटोमेशन में you set the value for the web element? कभी वेब एलिमेंट की वैल्यू को आप सेट करते हो कि केवल गेट करते हो?
We will get.
आप केवल गेट करते हो. आप क्या करते हो? देखो, फर्स्ट नेम की वैल्यू को फर्स्ट नेम डॉट सेंड कीज करते हो. कहीं पे भी आप फर्स्ट नेम करके यू वांट टू सेट सम वैल्यू. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
ठीक है. अगर आप इसको स्टिल यू वांट टू मेक इट लिटिल बिट कॉम्प्लेक्स, आप ऐसा कर सकते थे क्या कि आप सबसे पहले जब गेट फर्स्ट नेम करोगे तो ये वाला काम किसमें कर सकते थे? सेटर में. लेकिन आप मुझे बताओ, सेटर में ये काम करने के बाद इसको गेटर में कॉल करने का क्या फायदा? यू आर मेकिंग एक्स्ट्रा लेयर फॉर दैट. यस और नो? तो मैंने क्या किया, व्हेन आई एम कॉलिंग द गेटर, before returning the value, I have initialized the value. So my getter is sufficient to return the value. Yes or no?
Yes.
और फ्यूचर में आपको कब पता है, आपको कभी भी इसकी वैल्यू को दोबारा चेंज नहीं करना है. करना है कभी चेंज? हमेशा इसकी वैल्यू ड्राइवर डॉट फाइंड एलिमेंट ऐसे ही फाइंड होगी. यस और नो?
Yes.
Yes.
बट इन द स्टूडेंट केस व्हाट इज द पॉसिबिलिटी? आपको कभी स्टूडेंट की वैल्यू रखनी है, कभी गेट करनी है, कभी रीअसाइन करनी है. सो यू नीड गेटर एंड सेटर बोथ. गॉट माय पॉइंट? यस और नो?
Yeah, when we are calling the get function, so every time it is assigning newly to that variable.
Yes. And that is the benefit of it. Why we are doing it? Suppose take the example. Whenever you are calling this function, actually it is at that moment, it will go to the screen and find the element. So what is the benefit? Sometimes I told you at the time of learning of, maybe I told you this thing at the time of, in the date picker, I have told you this thing that whenever you try to find element, what happens? when you are moving from one page to another page. Are you getting my point? And when in your automation you are moving from one page to another page and you try to access the one element that was available on the first page. Getting my point? Sometimes you found an error that is called stale element
So,
exception.
yeah, I was going to ask the next question because in a few places I'm getting scale element exception.
Yes.
So is it in
Yeah.
this get method fault, or am I finding the element after am I reading the element after the page is loaded, or am I reading it sooner, something like that?
So actually the reason is the what happens sometimes, just think about that. Currently you are sitting on the Amazon, take the example, you are on today's deal page. Getting my point? So what you have to do in your code, you write a code driver.find element, something like that. You have written this code once. Is it okay? You can take the example of this one. Let me take the example of this one. You have written this code and store in a reference variable. Yes or no?
Yes.
Take the example, first name is available on the first page. You write this code driver.find element, you store in a reference variable. Now take the example, suppose in the next step, you move to the next page and then you come back to the first page. This time you only prefer to use this reference variable. Yes or no? आप इस रेफरेंस वेरिएबल का केवल यूज करोगे ना, fname.send किसकी ये कोड दोबारा लिखोगे. Element you have already stored in your web element. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो आप क्या करोगे? Sometimes what happens when you are writing this code, आपने यहाँ पे you have written a code to find the element, then you have write send keys, and again when you come back and you write this code something like that, fname dot, suppose take the example send keys. तो पता ही क्या होता है? Sometimes what happens when you are first time available on this page, you find this element. Getting my point? You move to the next page, again you are coming back to this page. So at that time you are using this reference. You are using this reference. So what happens at that time when you are using this reference? This you can say the object which was assigned to this reference, sometime it was lost. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
तो होता क्या है यहाँ पे? In that case, you get an error that is called stale element exception. What do you mean by element stale exception? What is the difference between the element not found and element stale exception? Element found means element is not available in your page. That is very, very clear. Element available ही नहीं है. And what do you mean by element stale exception? Means when the first time you have tried to access this element, at that time it was present in your reference. But now when you are trying to access it again, the reference is lost. Getting my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
तो हमको
But
करना
when we are trying to access the element, we every time we are using the get method only. So it's like we are assigning the value newly whenever we are trying to access.
Yes, and that is the best approach. That's why I'm saying if you are writing this code, the best approach is that again do one thing, try to find this element freshly here and then call the send keys. Getting my point?
Yeah. Okay.
तो इससे क्या होगा? Whenever you are trying to whenever you are trying to perform some action on the element, just same time you should try to find it. Getting my point?
Yes.
ये सबसे अच्छी approach होती है. Otherwise this, if you are not going to use this approach is mainly create problems when you are moving from one page to another page, and that is known as sometimes this problem is created moving from one page to another page. And another scenario is that there is something that is called ajax call. किसी को पता है asynchronous calls are there, ajax calls are there, and when you fire a ajax call, sometimes this reference is lost. Getting my point? तो हमारे लिए बेस्ट अप्रोच क्या है? जब भी कभी आपको एलिमेंट पे एक्शन परफॉर्म करना हो एंड इफ यू आर मूविंग फ्रॉम वन पेज टू अनदर, तब तो 100% आपको इस एलिमेंट को दोबारा क्या करना चाहिए? यू शुड फाइंड इट एंड देन परफॉर्म द एक्शन. Getting my point? So in the user registration page, I'm doing this thing. Whenever you will call this function, it will get the reference fresh. Yes or no? ठीक है? तो इसका बेनिफिट होता है, इसको यहाँ पे ऐसे करना. दिस इज द बेस्ट अप्रोच. ठीक है? चलिए. Your query is resolved?
Yes, Pradeep. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so this is now you have to follow this thing in every way. Now we will come to the framework next part, that is called test. अब ये test में क्या करना है? This is the package which contains the actual test cases. So here we should create the classes on the basis of so many things. You can create the classes which contain the test. So your classes, different classes should depend on different type of nomenclature. You can say like you can create the classes on the basis of your modules. You can create the classes on the basis of your functionality. You can create the classes on the basis of your some group of test cases. Are you getting my point? Means in page object model, you have created the Java file to store the elements on the basis of number of pages. But in your test cases, but in your test project, you create the test case. You can create the Java file on the basis of your modules, functionality, some grouping, some business concept. मतलब कैसे भी आप grouping करना चाहते हो, it is totally depends on your choice. Getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
So for example, in my case, I can do simply one thing. I'm trying to create the, you can say on the basis of my pages also, like user registration page test. Is it okay?
Yeah.
तो यहाँ पे मैंने आपसे बोला है, it doesn't matter कि आप ये बनाओ. You can create the test case file name like register test cases, Amazon wallet test cases, Amazon reward test cases, Amazon coupon test cases. You can create the Java file on the basis of different functionality or different modules. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yeah.
तो टेस्ट केस की जो फाइल होती है उसके लिए ऐसा कोई स्ट्रक्चर फिक्स नहीं है. आपको कैसे ग्रुपिंग करनी है, हाउ यू वांट टू डील इट, इट टोटली डिपेंड्स ऑन. सो आई एम क्रिएटिंग द जावा फाइल टेस्ट केस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर पेजेस. ठीक है, तो हम इसमें पहला टेस्ट केस आई एम ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट. क्या टेस्ट केस बनते हैं? पब्लिक, ये मैंने टेस्टएनजी में किया है, व्हाई आई एम राइटिंग इट अगेन. एक काम करते हैं ना, कॉपी पेस्ट कर लेते हैं. वेयर आई हैव रिटन द टेस्ट केसेस, वेयर आई हैव रिटन, कहाँ गया, कहाँ पे मेहनत करी है हमने. टेस्टएनजी कहाँ लिखा टेस्टएनजी? अरे वेयर आई हैव रिटन, ना नॉट हियर, ऊपर ही लिखा होगा कहीं.
Just a reference is below the reference tab.
I have written here also. I have just removed this thing. My test cases इसमें नहीं लिखा. Very good. अच्छा, we can copy it from here also. I am getting one test case. Where I have my test case file. In user registration page, I'm only writing the functions for the test cases. So I'll take the example. This one. So let me do one thing. I'm writing a code. Okay. Validate last name. Now in this case, tell me, I need driver. Okay, do one thing. I'm not writing this code here. So let me do one thing. Let me write fresh code in front of you. Otherwise you will be confused. Validate first name. This is my test case. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So I can create 2-3 test cases. I'm trying to create validate first name, validate middle name, and validate last name. So I'm creating this one. Validate first name, validate middle name, and validate last name. You can take the example as well as any test case you can write. Now tell me, I have to write the code. Before writing the code, let me make the annotations. We need a TestNG annotation. Yes or no? Code कुछ भी लिखे इसके पहले I need to mention the TestNG annotation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now I have to write the code. Now how you write the code? Now tell me one thing. I told you, you have already written a code to find the element. So in validate first name, you need to access the first name field. Yes or no? You need first name. तो अब देखो यहाँ पे करना क्या है. In your page object model, you already written all the elements of first user registration page in this file user registration page. So here you will create the object of user registration page. User registration page equal to new. So it means this is the part of the structure that you have kept the locator in a different file. Now you want to access, just create the object of that class, and then you can access urp.get first name dot send keys. Yes or no? Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
तो यही काम, same thing you have to do in every test case. यहाँ पे ये हो जाएगा. In the middle name you have to write the code urp.get
Get m name.
get middle name dot send keys. तो आपका जो ऑब्जेक्ट का जो कोड है that you have to keep in the separate file. ठीक है?
Yes.
And that is only for the maintenance purpose. I know that. इस केस में आपको कोडिंग थोड़ी ज्यादा करनी पड़ी है. But what is the benefit here? Your maintenance is very, very easy. I will tell you why.
If you made any change, if you want to make any changes, you just made into the element section.
Yes. If you want to make any changes in the first name field, means take the example. This is your own file where you are writing the test cases. And in your team, any other member who is interested to write some locators for the user registration page, he simply go to this page and add element there. Maybe in the future some path is changed, so he is going to modify here. Everybody is referencing the element from this function. Yes or no? तो जो भी इससे reference कर रहा है उसका कोड क्या होगा? अपने आप सही हो जाएगा. Everybody don't need to modify the element locator. Getting my point?
Yes.
तो आपका maintenance आसान हो गया. You have run this code. Now tell me one thing. You want to write some code related to the left menu page class, and here I will write left menu, left left menu test cases or tests. Okay. Now the thing is that now come to this point. Suppose take the example. I have created this structure. Now I will try to run this. अगर मैं इसको run करूं ये चलेगा ये fail हो जाएगा. Tell me one thing. It will fail. Why? Because it will start running the test case from here. Get name, send keys, this one. Now tell me, before this test case, which function should run? Before class. After class.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
अब कैसे मिलेगा यहाँ पे function? This time the best approach is inheritance. Because I need everything here. Da, da, da. So now this will become the rule of your framework that every test case file should extend the base test. This is now the rule of your test case. हर test case file कोई भी बनाएगा ये उसका rule बन गया है. He will extend the base test. Is it okay?
Yes.
चलिए अब देखिए अब मैं आपको रन करा के दिखाता हूँ. It is working fine or not.
That's why we kept as a static function so that they will execute first and later on the particular class will execute.
Exactly. This is the best approach that you should create it static till the time it is not required. You can create it non-static also, but till the time it is not required, don't try to make it non-static. ठीक है? अब it's your choice. आप क्या बनाना चाहो? Now tell me one thing. Yeah.
Suppose that if I remove the annotation as a after from the base class, then I think it will create the problem.
Yes, definitely it is. नहीं, it totally depends on what is your scenario. Currently, what is happening? आपने यहाँ पे लिखा you have written before in class. So it means before class you have to open a browser only once, and after class you have to close it. तो अगर एक ही क्लास को रन कर रहे हैं तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. लेकिन अगर दो क्लास रन करते हैं और आफ्टर बंद कर दिया तो आप ब्राउजर को क्लोज तो कर ही नहीं रहे. Yes or no? So that is the logical thing. Means whenever you are, again I am saying that whenever you are writing the code, framework doesn't mean that you will provide some error code and it will run. No. Coding is something like that. Whatever you are writing the code, same code will run at the runtime. So at the time of creating the framework, it is your responsibility to remove the dependencies. Getting my point? आपको dependency को remove करना है कि अगर ये करेंगे तो ये चलना बंद हो जाएगा. Getting my point? चलिए, I will give you the example also. अच्छा, एक चीज देखते हैं. What I have written in the base test? Tell me. Here I have written the user registration page. But whenever you are running the whole application, actually you have to write the URL of home.html. Yes or no?
Yeah.
अब लेकिन आप मुझे बताओ, जैसे ही मैं लिखूंगा, you will face a challenge. I have written this thing. Now try to run this user registration page and tell me it is working fine or not. देखो पहले चल रहा था 3 failures 0. Now let me run it and you will face a problem. Anybody can tell me what will be the problem? It fails. Anybody can tell me the problem?
Not
No,
figure out the element because in a different frame.
Yes. Now this is a particular problem. Please be on mute if you are not asking. Please be on mute. Hello. Please be on mute if you are not talking. If you are not asking. Okay. Now here you will see this type of problem is called the application specific. मेरी application में dependency क्या है? What is the dependency of my application? That whenever you want to access this application, this part, you have to go into this particular frame.
Have to switch to
Yes.
different frame.
Yes. So that's why here we are going to write a special code in this user registration page. We are writing a function public void, and the name of framework is switch to SWI, switch to user registration page. I'm just giving a meaningful name. Are you getting my point? मैंने एक फंक्शन का नाम ही बना लिया कि यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन पेज का स्विच करना है, एंड आई विल राइट द कोड टू स्विच इट. कैसे करते हैं? ड्राइवर डॉट स्विच टू. सबसे पहले आपको बताता हूँ, फ्रेम नहीं. जब भी आप राइटिंग कोड करते हो, एट द टाइम ऑफ राइटिंग आई हैव कोडेड, यू शुड राइट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिफॉल्ट कंटेंट. सबसे पहले आपको डिफॉल्ट कंटेंट लिखना चाहिए. इट इज द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस. देन यू शुड राइट ड्राइवर डॉट स्विच टू पर्टिकुलर फ्रेम. And what is the name of frame in your case? क्या फ्रेम का नाम है? यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन पेज. Yes or no? चलो कॉपी कर लो यहां से. Now you will see. So this was the specific requirement. Now tell me, when this code should run? Whenever you are trying to run your code, whenever you are trying to run your access, your element, before that your control should be on this page. Yes or no?
Yes.
तो यहाँ पे देखो हम स्पेशल एनोटेशन लिखेंगे @before method. Getting my point? क्या लिखूंगा? बिफोर. इसका मतलब जब भी कोई टेस्ट केस रन करेगा, इससे पहले दिस कोड इज गोइंग टू मेक ए श्योरिटी दैट योर कंट्रोल इज ऑन यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन फ्रेम. नाउ यू सी इट विल स्टार्ट रनिंग. तो ऐसे कस्टमाइज कोड यू नीड अकॉर्डिंग टू योर एप्लीकेशन इंप्लीमेंटेशन. नाउ इट्स वर्किंग फाइन.
Yes.
ठीक है. नाउ इट विल बिकम अ रूल. अब मेरे एप्लीकेशन में ऐसा स्पेशल है, इसलिए मेरी एप्लीकेशन का एक रूल क्या बन गया है? Whenever you are writing a test case, you should write a code to move to that particular frame. Yes or no? हाँ जी, yes or no?
Yes.
तो ये अब ऐसी तो रूल बनते हैं. लेफ्ट मेनू पेज, और यहां लिखूंगा मैं लेफ्ट मेनू पेज. तो ऐसे ही रूल आप बनाते हो, एंड योर रूल्स मेक्स द लाइफ इजी ऑफ योर अदर टीम मेंबर्स. आपने सपोज टेक द एग्जांपल, गौरव इज द मेन ओनर ऑफ द ऑटोमेशन. तो गौरव का काम है फ्रेमवर्क में ऐसे चेंजेस करना दैट मेक्स द लाइफ इजी ऑफ अदर पर्सन. अब अगर गौरव ने चेंज कर दिया है, तो आप मुझे बताओ और लोगों का काम क्या बचेगा? केवल छोटे छोटे टेस्ट केस लिखना. यस और नो? आपने ये चिंता तो हटाई थी कि जब कोई रन करेगा बाय डिफॉल्ट ये लेफ्ट मेनू में अटैच हो जाएगा. अब यहाँ पे बंदा क्या टेस्ट केस लिखेगा? वैलिडेट सेलेनियम लिंक. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? अब लिखने दो. अब नाउ हियर यू वांट टू एक्सेस द एलिमेंट ऑफ लेफ्ट मेनू पेज. तो यहाँ पे यूजर रजिस्ट्रेशन पेज नहीं होगा. यू आर गोइंग टू राइट लेफ्ट मेनू पेज बिकॉज यू वांट टू एक्सेस द एलिमेंट फ्रॉम लेफ्ट मेनू पेज. लेफ्ट मेनू पेज इक्वल टू न्यू लेफ्ट मेनू पेज. नाउ लेफ्ट मेनू पेज डॉट सेलेनियम लिंक. यस और नो? गेट सेलेनियम लिंक एंड डॉट क्लिक. यस और नो? ऐसे ही करना है. गॉट इट?
Yes.
तो ऐसे आपको करते जाना है. इट विल बिकम योर फ्रेमवर्क. ये आपका फ्रेमवर्क डिजाइन होता जाए. नाउ दिस थिंग यू हैव टू कीप ऑन डूइंग ऑन द बेस ऑफ योर रिक्वायरमेंट, एंड दिस इज अ ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस फॉर द लाइफ लॉन्ग. जब तक आपके प्रोजेक्ट में ऑटोमेशन हो रहा है, ये काम आपको करते जाना है. दिस पार्ट इज क्लियर? एनीबॉडी हैव एनी डाउट?
No.
नाउ लेट मी रन इट एंड सी इट्स वर्किंग और नॉट. It's working. Okay. Now tell me what we have to introduce. We have to introduce the testng.xml. Yes or no? हमने अभी क्या किया है? We want to run these two files in one go. कैसे करेंगे? We need a testng file. Right click on any file. Testng convert to. याद आ रहा है? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now we created a testng.xml. मैंने बोला I'm not writing any code here. We are just learning that how to manage the code. यहाँ पे testng.xml बना. We added one more line. कौन सा ऐड करना था? जितनी क्लासेस ऐड करनी है. Left menu page. Just copy the class name here and go to testng.xml. So now what is the requirement? जब भी आपको रन करना in your framework, you will start running with the help of testng. Let me run it and see it is working or not. Testng suit. Working fine. 4 test cases, all are passed. Yes or no?
Yes.
देखो आपका अपना फ्रेमवर्क बनता जा रहा है. Now this is the this part. Now this part is keep on going. मैं आपसे बोल रहा हूँ, मैं इसमें 10 टेस्ट केस बना दूं, 100 बना दूं, आपका उससे क्या होना है? You have to learn by your own. Getting my point? तो मैं इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें ऐड नहीं करूंगा. I have told you the structure, com.org base test file, common code should be here. Page object should contain the pages according to the your application, and it should contain only the locators. That is also known as repository. And your com.org test package should contain the test cases, and it contains the POV test cases. Getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes.
चलिए अब मैं आपको कुछ वैलिडेशन करके दिखाता हूँ. Because I have not told you about the testng assertion. तो testng assertion कैसे करते हैं दिखाता हूँ. I am giving you the one example so that you can learn. मेरे को validate करना है. In first name I want to validate one thing. Whether you have to चलिए मुझे validate करना है. You have to validate whether I will take the example of age. Age is more good. मुझे validate करना है age में I am writing some data 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. मैंने इसमें I have written 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. इसने लिखा क्या इसमें? What it has entered here? 3 4 5
only 3 digits because it's a limited set.
Best, because in my application my developer has make a restriction
Max
of
length.
max length 3. अब मुझे validate करना है max length is working or not. Anybody can tell me how we can validate with the help of Selenium? कैसे
So there is
validate
one attribute is max length in the code side stable. We can figure out and validate it.
Yes. So one option is that we can do one thing. We can find out the element. We can, in this particular element, we will try to access this element, and then we find the attribute max length. और इस max length की value it should be 3. Yes or no?
Yes.
ये तो बहुत आसान तरीका है. एक तरीका मैं आपको और बताता हूँ. That usually expected from the, you can say, expected from the interviewer. तो क्या करते हैं यहाँ पे एक test case I'm going to add that is called age. Validate age. And then I'm writing get age and send की suppose take the exam. अब देखो मैं क्या करने जा रहा हूँ. मैं यहाँ enter कर रहा हूँ 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I'm trying to enter more than 3 length. Yes or no? अब देखो I'm
You
doing
will
one thing.
compare that.
Yes, I will write a string that is called expected value. मेरी expected value क्या है? I have entered this value, but my expected value is that value. It should be 3 4 5 6. Yes or no? Oh sorry, 3 4 5.
3 4 5.
मेरी expectation ये है कि मैंने enter तो कर दिया है, but my expected value क्या होनी चाहिए? That should be entered this one. Yes or no?
Yes.
अब actual value कैसे निकालेंगे? String actual value. How we can get the actual value from that field? Same thing. URP dot get age dot. There is a function that is called get attribute. There is a function that is called get attribute, and in attribute you have to write this value. ये मैंने पहले ही बताया हुआ है. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
अभी क्या करेगा? When this function is called, it will return the
Compare the value expected.
It will return the value which is actually entered in the text field. Now we will compare these two things. मैं इसको compare करूँगा कैसे? So for comparison, I don't need to do anything. I can compare with the help of if and else also. Are you getting my point? मैं if and else से कर सकता हूँ, but testng provide an inbuilt assertion that is called ASSERT, assert equals. In assert equal, you have to provide your value, expected and actual. So this is my actual value. This is my expected value. By default, it will compare, and on the basis of that comparison, it will pass and fail. तो देखो हमारे current scenario में क्या होगा?
So what that particular assertion is returned?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So what that particular assertion is written, like Boolean or true false?
Yes,
or something?
yes, true and false.
Okay.
True and false. It means if these two values are equal, it will return true and your test case will be passed. If these two values are not equal, it will return false and your test case will be false. ठीक है, चलो आपको करके दिखाता हूँ. Let me do one thing. So in the current scenario, it will pass होगा कि fail होगा?
Okay.
Fail.
फेल क्यों होगा?
Because
मैं बताता हूँ पास क्यों होगा। आपकी एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू 3 4 5 है और आपका मैक्स लेंथ सही से तो काम कर रहा है। आप जब एंटर करो 3 4 5 भी तो कर रहा है। यस और नो?
Okay,
yes.
okay, yes, yes.
अब देखो मैं बग डाल के दिखाता हूँ आपको। अब मैं आपको टेस्ट केस को मॉडिफाई नहीं करूंगा, मैं अपने एप्लीकेशन में आपका डेवलपर का काम करता हूँ। आई विल ट्राई टू मेक अ बग। मैं क्या करता हूँ, रिक्वायरमेंट वाज दैट मैक्स लेंथ इज 3, मैं अपनी एप्लीकेशन में जाके क्या कर दूंगा, कोड में जाके मैक्स लेंथ को क्या कर दूंगा, 4 कर दूंगा। क्या कर दूंगा मैक्स लेंथ को जाके?
You will increase that.
आई एम ट्राइंग टू राइट सो दैट एवरीबॉडी अंडरस्टैंड। अगर मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट ये थी कि डेवलपर को बताया गया था मैक्स लेंथ 3 रखनी है, बट उसने गलती से क्या कर दिया, मैक्स लेंथ क्या रख दी, 4, तो यहीं पे मेरा बग आ जाएगा, मैक्स लेंथ विल 4। अब मुझे बताओ इन माय केस क्या ये कंडीशन फुलफिल होगी? नहीं, क्योंकि जब मैं वैल्यू गेट करूंगा तो इस बार वैल्यू क्या मिलेगी, एंटर्ड वैल्यू विल बी 3 4 5 6,
6.
क्योंकि वो आप यूआई पे देखना वो 4 एंटर करेगा कैरेक्टर को एंड माय टेस्ट केस विल बिकम फेल। देखना ध्यान से, कितने कैरेक्टर एंटर किए, 3 4 5।
6.
अब मेरा टेस्ट केस फेल हो गया एंड यू कैन सी द एरर। क्या बता रहा है यहाँ पे, व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट लाइन हियर, एक्सपेक्टेड 3 4
Expected is
5।
3 4 5, but found 3 4 5 6.
तो मैंने आपको सिर्फ ये दिखाया है, ये आप ये मत सोचना मैंने जाके बग डाला है। आपके पास टेस्ट केस क्या होगा, मैक्स लेंथ शुड बी 3, तो आप यही टेस्ट केस लिखोगे एंड इफ द मैक्स लेंथ वाज 4 टेस्ट केस फेल हो जाएगा। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट, यस और नो?
Okay.
तो मैंने आपको एक बग एक प्रोड्यूस करके दिखाया। लेट मी क्लोज इट। दैट इज ओके, यू गॉट द असर्शन। ऐसे ही आपको असर्शन करना है, जहां जहां आपको असर्शन लगाने हैं यू विल डू द सेम थिंग। You will write the expected value, you will fetch the expected value, and then you make a comparison here. And comparison is very, very easy. This is a function which is given by testng. And this is
So
called
all the assertions are start from assert or something.
that's why I say that if you want to compare the string value, you want to compare to integer value, you want to compare any two type of value, assert equal contains every flavor. देख रहा हो सारे assert दिख रहे हैं आपको, इसके अंदर वो सारे कंपैरिजन है जो सारे डेटा टाइप में हो सकते हैं, दो बूलियन के, दो क्लास के, इंटीजर के, फ्लोट के, व्हाटएवर यू कैन थिंक अबाउट। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes.
तो आपका काम ही खत्म हो गया। और असर्शन में कंपेयर क्या है, एक्चुअली द थिंग इज दैट योर एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू शुड बी कंपेयर विद द एक्चुअल वैल्यू। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? तो जो असर्शन मैंने आपको बताया, ये असर्शन आप जहां जहां लगाना चाहो लगा दो। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes. So from where we can get the assertion list?
Assertion is simply write this assert.
Okay.
And I told you assertion is no need to write any, no need to remind any list. Simply for every type of data there is a assert function. आप कोई भी दो डेटा को देखो, आपको डेटा कंपेयर क्या करोगे, या तो डेटा स्ट्रिंग होगा, it will be string, it will be boolean, it will be a integer, it will be a character, it will be a class, anything. For everything there is a function. सबके लिए function available है and the name of the function is assert equal. And what is the best example of this? ये किसका best example है assert equal? Function overload. Yes or no?
Yes.
एक ही क्लास में एक ही नाम से मल्टीपल फंक्शंस हैं, but the parameter type is different, and this is the best example of function overloading. Yes or no?
Yes.
ठीक है, अब देखो इस सारे एक ही क्लास में, आप क्लास भी देखना चाहो तो मैं आपको दिखा सकता हूँ। यहाँ पे ऊपर देखो क्लास जो बनी है, इस क्लास के अंदर देखो सारे फंक्शन लिखे हैं। इस क्लास का नाम क्या है, देखो assert क्लास, और assert क्लास के अंदर सारे फंक्शन देखो बने हैं, सारे देखो लिखे हैं। जो आप देखोगे यहाँ से तो और आसानी से नहीं, यहीं से देख लो आप, जो आपको ये दिखा रहा हूँ तो सबके आगे पैकेज का नेम देखो सेम ही लिखा होगा। सबके आगे देखो क्लास का नाम क्या लिखा है, assert 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 assert. Yes or no?
Yes.
सारे फंक्शन एड्रेस क्लास में सबका नाम सेम है, पैरामीटर का टाइप क्या डिफरेंट है, किसी में बूलियन है, किसी में एक्चुअल है, एंड दिस इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ ओवरलोड। तो कभी भी इंटरव्यू में पूछे, यू शुड गिव द आंसर फ्रॉम द सेलेनियम। ही विल अंडरस्टैंड टू थिंग्स, यू नो द कॉन्सेप्ट, you know the best example, and really you have utilized in your Selenium. Getting my point? चलिए तो यहाँ पे आगे अब एक छोटा सा चीज और कवर करते हैं, और everybody is exhausted.
So what you will go to cover that? How much time will take?
चलिए नहीं कवर करते हैं, otherwise you will be exhausted, because this is enough for you to.
This is really a good thing which you have been told today, and it will definitely require lots of practice.
Yes, and what is the thing is there, actually again I'm saying that this is why you need a practice for that. जब आप अपने टेस्ट केस whenever you are learning your Selenium, तो आप Selenium में लर्निंग करते वक्त कुछ भी कहीं से भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो, बट फ्रेमवर्क टेल्स यू अबाउट दैट योर कॉन्सेप्ट शुड बी क्लियर। आपको पहले क्या चीज करनी है। आपने देखा मैंने पहले टेस्ट केस नहीं लिखे, मैंने सबसे पहले क्या बनाया, बेस टेस्ट, बिकॉज आई नो दैट दिस इज द फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट। जबकि मैं जब अपना नॉर्मली व्हेन आई वाज लर्निंग द Selenium, पहले मैं लिखता था ड्राइवर बनाता था, मेन के अंदर ये लिखता था, वो लिखता था फंक्शन, बट हियर आई फर्स्ट क्रिएटेड बेस टेस्ट, देन आई क्रिएटेड पेज ऑब्जेक्ट, देन आई क्रिएटेड टेस्ट। सो योर सीक्वेंस रियली मैटर्स, यस और नो?
Yes.
और इसके बाद मैं आपको एक एक करके दिखाऊंगा व्हाट एल्स वी कैन ऐड हियर। ठीक है, एक छोटी चीज मैं आपको दिखाता हूं, देन आई विल बाइंड अप। फ्रेमवर्क क्यों बोलते हैं इसको? इन द फ्रेमवर्क एवरीथिंग शुड बी वेरी वेरी यू कैन से इजी टू मेंटेन। फॉर एग्जांपल यहां बताता हूं, हियर यू आर राइटिंग द पाथ ऑफ chroma की exe, yes or no? So in the Java, one thing is very very recommended. Java में एक चीज it is very very recommended that you should keep hard coded value away from the Java file. ऐसा क्यों होता है मैं बताता हूँ। जब भी आप Java फाइल में you are not able to see in the Eclipse, but क्या होता है जब भी आप Java फाइल में चेंज होते हैं, every time it compiles and create the dot class file, yes or no? मैंने आपको बताया ना, आपको यहाँ नहीं दिख रहा है, लेकिन आप Java फाइल में जब भी कोई चेंज करते हो तो एक्चुअली बिहाइंड द सीन इट क्रिएट्स और अपडेट द डॉट क्लास फाइल, यस और नो? तो जावा बोलता है, फ्रेमवर्क बोलता है कि यू शुड मेक थिंग्स इन योर क्लास इन सच अ वे दैट कंपाइलेशन शुड बी वेरी वेरी मिनिमल। बार बार कंपाइलेशन करने की जरूरत ना पड़े। अब आप मुझे बताओ, इफ यू आर चेंजिंग दिस पाथ अगेन, अगर आपका ई की जगह डी ड्राइव में हो, यू आर मेकिंग अ चेंज हियर, सो योर कोड विल अगेन कंपाइल, यस और नो? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट, यस और नो?
Yes.
तो आपको अपना काम करना है, दिस इज द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस दैट यू शुड रिमूव द हार्ड कोडेड वैल्यूज फ्रॉम द जावा। आप इनको कहीं और रखो जहां से आप इनको चेंज कर पाओ, लेकिन जावा की डॉट क्लास जावा की फाइल में इसको नहीं रखना चाहिए। एंड दैट वी लर्न इन द coming session, that how you can remove the hard coded values and keep in a separate file that is known as project configuration file. And for that purpose we can use so many things. We can use XML file, we can use JSON file, and the easiest way to achieve it to use properties file. So we will learn this thing in the next session. And till the time, I hope everybody will try to create this framework on your own company website, so that you can create the framework just with me and you can raise your concern that in my own application I am facing this challenge. Getting my point, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So anybody have any question? Otherwise I'm going to wind the session.
No, nothing further. No.
Everybody, I'm asking with everybody.
No, Pradeep, right?
Pradeep, as of now. Pradeep.
Great. Okay, so again I'm saying that when we will meet in the next session, it doesn't mean that you have to ask the question from the framework. You are free to ask the question from day one. You can ask the question from Java, you can ask the question for Selenium, from TestNG, but only my expectation from you is that first of all revise the thing. कोई मुझसे ये मत बोल देना प्रदीप एक काम करते हैं जावा एक बार फिर से पढ़ाएंगे, it is feasible for me. No. So please revise the thing and then you can ask me. Is it good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Great.